Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Isabel, and today's session is called Love and Be Loved. So what we're doing is we're addressing whatever can be in the way of that. So whatever can hold us back from experiencing more love or gifting and receiving love more fully. So yeah, we'll say a little bit more afterwards, but for now, let's just get into this. So this will be an instructive healing session. So we'll instruct our systems basically. So just know that you're only gonna pick up on whatever is meant for you right now and release whatever feels good right now. And your soul knows that. So you might want to lay down or sit, whatever feels right to you. Maybe for this one, laying down actually feels better, but again, whatever you choose. So yeah, get comfortable and then let's get started. So close your eyes. And just start tuning within. And start following your breath into your body. And allowing every breath to take you a little bit deeper. Just notice whatever you perceive. So if there's tightness somewhere, maybe numbness, just breathe into that. And relax on the out breath. And just keep doing that. Just keep following your breath and just stay in your body as much as you can. And we're going to get started. So the first thing we want to do is we want to start dissolving any states of defense and armor. Letting go of that defensiveness and those walls. And let's clear on a perceived threat when it comes to feeling and feeling our feelings and desires. And let's bring in the energy of peace. and that of kindness. And we want to start resolving mechanisms of suppression. So any ways that we suppress what we feel, suppress our feelings. And also escapism. Any patterns of escapism. Patterns of dissociating. Numbness. Going numb. And avoidance patterns as well. And let's clear on heaviness, heaviness around the heart. And a sense of too much. Clear that. And wanting to withdraw. And the need to do that, the need to withdraw and to close off. And underneath that is feeling unsafe. So let's address that. Okay, we're also clearing on letdown. So any and all ways that we've experienced letdown. No matter how that showed up, any letdown. and also the anticipation thereof. And betrayal. Let's clear on any forms of betrayal. And the distress coming from that. So let's clear on times when we felt rejected, especially growing up and like people around us, our parents. And all that we've made that mean, all the attached meanings to that. Okay, and feeling unwanted. Let's address that. Feeling not enough. Unloved. And alone, feeling all alone. And a lack of healthy affection. Let's address that. And the hurts coming from that. And also unreciprocated love. So love that was not returned. and the sadness and the grief related to that. Okay, let's clear on the following phrases. Love isn't safe. I'll resolve that. Love isn't reliable. Can't be trusted. Love is conditional. Love is painful. We also want to release a fear of being rejected. Fear of being rejected that we carry. Release as much as we can right now. And a fear of not being enough. Stay on that a little bit longer. And also fear of not being chosen. And that stems from having experienced that of some sorts. So yeah, feeling abandoned. Let's address that. Feeling forsaken. Yeah, that seems to be a big one. Okay, and also feeling banned, as in banned out of the kingdom. And that refers to experiences of falling out of oneness, if you will. That creates that void and that sense of loneliness. So let's release that as much as we can. Okay. Let's bring in the energy of comfort. And the energy of trust. We're also bringing in self-compassion. Having compassion for how we feel, whatever that looks like in any given moment. Okay, and we'll be addressing a few more things silently, but at the same time, we're already letting these processes sink in and integrate for a few minutes. Okay. So just take a deep breath. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Yeah. As always, come back to this anytime you feel called to do that. Take things deeper, address different layers. And yeah, we want to resolve, those emotional charges, whatever doesn't feel good. Because it's dense, it's like stuck energy, whether we realize that or not. Like even if we focus on something else, and you might be really good at that, right? You might be really good at, not reacting, and that's great, because it's not about that anyway. But yeah, you might be good at just focusing on something else, and maybe think that that's not important, but it's still there. Like that emotional charge, that stuck energy, it's still there, and it's stored in the body consciousness. So it actually creates density in the body, in the physical body. And it's limiting as well. And then on the flip side, like every time, we do that and like go within and address whatever comes up, then we anchor in more light. So we not only release something, we actually anchor in more light. We literally become lighter, naturally raise our vibration, if you will. And yeah, I mean, ultimately, of course, we want to empty out and decondition all of our bodies. But this is an important aspect too. So yeah, we do not want to stay with that, and all it takes is, I mean, it sounds so simple, and I know it's not always easy, but what it takes is just going within and feeling whatever comes up, the sensations that come up around that, around whatever happened, because it's not about that anyway. So anytime we get triggered by a situation, by a person, whatever, and yes, of course, we don't want to react to it, right? But then we also want to address what doesn't feel good. So it's no longer there, because when we do that, there's no landing space. There's not going to be any more reaction to the same thing, like to the same trigger, because it's not there anymore. So we go within and basically let go of the stories, let go of all the thoughts around it, and whatever we think it has to do with, because it's not about that. It's not about that person. It's not about any situation. It's not about anything out there. So, and we start sensing what comes up, and even letting go of the label. So let's say I experience anger, right? So then I tune within, and then I notice, okay, there's maybe constriction in the stomach. Maybe there's heat. Maybe there's a swirling motion. Maybe there's tightness in the jaw or in the throat. Or let's say it's sadness. Then maybe there's a pressure on the chest. Maybe a heaviness. Maybe there's moisture behind the eyes. And all we do then is just be with that, bring awareness to that. Again, letting go of any meanings attached, any stories. And just breathing into that. And then we'll notice that there's going to be a shift. This movement that comes in. And let's say we started off with like a 10 of intensity, then all of a sudden maybe it's an 8 or a 7. Again, until it's no longer there. And then of course we can support that, right? So we can do healing sessions. We can, and there's so many ways of doing that. I mean, there's all kinds of energy healing. There's sound healing, which light language is a part of sound healing as well. And yeah, actually this week I read this article that was shared by a fellow healer, and it was about the healing effects of Pachelbel Canon. So that song, or Canon in D, it's often also referred to. And it was how like science and spirituality come together, or in particularly math and spirituality come together and have that healing effect on the, on our whole system, on all levels. And they're saying in it that it has that sense of homecoming to it, and it does. Like if you actually listen to it, and it has that calming effect and like a reset kind of. Yeah, I'm gonna link that in the description box in case you want to check that out. But yeah, again, we want to address whatever comes up, and no longer stay with it, and just be aware that, again, it's limiting, right? So even if we don't realize that, so let's just pick an example. Let's say there's somebody that you like, right? And that you connect with, or that you feel a connection to. And your first impulse is, because our heart is our compass, right? So your first impulse is, oh, okay, I want to reach out to that person. But then you don't, because something's holding you back. And you might not even want to look at that, right? You might not label it fear or whatever it is that comes up, because you might be dissociated from it. And then you go all mental about it, overthink it, and maybe even think that you have to get that person to like you or manipulate them in some way. When really all it would take is, honest communication, because love is honest. And on that note, it includes all of it. It includes everything, the whole spectrum. It's not just about, high vibes and all rainbows and just sunshine all the time. It's all of it. All of it unified as one. That's where we then go beyond, beyond the duality, beyond the right and wrong, good and bad, high and low. That space beyond, that space of neutrality. Yeah, that space of oneness. And I'm not saying that I'm there by any means, right? I'm still getting out of this, of the duality, if you will. But yeah, this is part of it too. If we only go for perfection and, all the highs and don't want to look at anything else, that's just one part of the spectrum. But there's so much more to it, right? All the colors, all the facets, all the nuances, all the shades. So yeah, but coming back to the example, you might find out that if you actually do reach out, right, to that person, that they actually feel the same way. Maybe they also felt that connection. And maybe moments where you felt like full of self-doubt and insecurities, all they saw was love, pure love in action. So Yeah, I mean, that is really the greatest gift that we can gift to another, is really like going beyond, because we all have insecurities. We all have things that we deem as, I don't know, unacceptable, unlovable, and we just want to hide it, feel shame about it. I think it has to be somewhat better than it is. But when we move beyond that, and let go of those distortions, because that's really what it is, and see another for who they truly are at their essence, and perceive that and reflect that back to them, that essence, that which is already whole. There's a lot of healing that comes with that. I mean, just imagine somebody, you looking at yourself through their eyes, and all that's coming back at you is love. That's powerful. That's a force to be reckoned with. Talking about homecoming. Yeah, so let's end it here. Thank you for being here, and also have appreciation for yourself, for doing this, for going within and not staying with that. Because as I said, it's it might be simple, but it's not easy. And it takes the willingness to show up. And it takes courage. A lot of courage. Braveheart. All right. So again, thank you. And yeah, I hope you're having a great day wherever you are. Take care. Bye.